Howdy folks, I'm Oceanic Orca, orderly organizing outrageous over-the-top outings.
I'm Amber.
And here are more outrageous over-the-top outings for us to arrange. We are making a giant circus in the ocean. So let's get started on that. Oh, and folks, we have a live stream coming up tomorrow, if you can believe that. For more information, please see the end of the video.
Maybe that's the over-the-top outing we're organizing.
It is. Everyone gets a free car during our live stream who shows up. Legally, I have to say, no, that's not the case. Not true. All right, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Breastfeeding My Son Around My Father-in-Law Despite Him Getting Upset? I'm a 23-year-old female, and I recently had my first child and have been breastfeeding. I don't use a cover because my baby doesn't like it. My husband's parents have commented about it in the past, saying that I don't need to do that in public. It's distracting and showing myself to others, because it can wait until I can do it privately at home. The issue recently happened when my father-in-law came over to visit. He made a comment to my husband that I managed to overhear about how my top was showing a lot. I did notice him taking a few glances. I wasn't wearing anything revealing, really, just a normal top, but I do have a bigger chest and a little skin was visible. I know my husband's parents don't like me nursing around them or near them. My husband had asked me previously if I could do it in my room, not to cause a fuss when they're over. I was nursing in my room upstairs that day, but I was getting tired. I haven't been getting much sleep. I've been taking care of my baby, constantly going upstairs, and my baby was hungry. They were all busy outside, and I was in the living room alone, so I pulled my top down and I started nursing my baby. But then my father-in-law came back into the room after coming back into the house and looked right at me and huffed a little. My husband and mother-in-law followed him into the room, and she said, "You don't have to do that here, do you?" To which I didn't really know how to respond. My father-in-law, who moved more into the room in front of me and was looking right at my chest and muttered under his breath, "I'll just start walking around with my junk hanging out, huh?" My mother-in-law told me to take it to my room so her husband didn't have to see that all hanging out, and she motioned to her chest. I was just looking back at them, not knowing what to say. I kind of froze and just continued breastfeeding my son, and they just stood there watching like they were expecting me to move, and I just felt exposed and shy and wishing I had just done it in my room. My husband got them to calm down, and eventually his parents left the room with a little bit of a huff. My husband went and got me a glass of water. It got a little awkward after that. I'm not really confrontational, and for the rest of the day until they left, I just went to the room quietly to do it. They commented like this before, and it's hurt my confidence. For example, in breastfeeding in public. I didn't really mean anything, and I was just trying to feed my son. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
Absolutely not the jerk, and you definitely have a husband problem here. The in-laws are acting absolutely horrible here. I mean, you are in your own home and you are feeding your child. You are entitled to feed your child in your own home wherever you want. And the way father-in-law is always staring at OP's chest and sexualizing feeding a child, like there's no equivalence there. Breasts are not reproductive organs, and so feeding a baby is not the same thing as flashing your junk. One is for a very different purpose.
Yeah, I mean, breasts are specifically for feeding babies, right? That's why they exist, right? That's why mammals, feed their young with them. And I think what kind of creeps me out about this whole situation is that he walked into the room and then he walked in further and just started staring down her chest
and he was also,
while she was breastfeeding.
And also making those creepy comments to her husband about how low cut her shirt was. Like, he just seems like a major creep. And honestly, husband needs to step up and tell his dad that he's not coming back anytime soon because he's being a creep.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that that has to be the case, but their husband really does need to lay down the law here and tell them that this isn't okay. And I mean, it is pretty creepy that he's sitting there trying to stare OP's chest down and while they're feeding their child.
That's the thing I don't get is like, it's very clear who's behaving badly, but Obi's husband's like, "Oh, can you just like go upstairs to feed the baby? I know you've just gone through this major experience of giving birth and like you're tired because you're feeding the baby all the time and caring for them at all hours of the night, but it would be too much of an inconvenience for my parents to leave the other room, so can you just not make them uncomfortable?"
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My Friend Not to Do Her Own Makeup for Her Wedding to Save on Money? And Amber wants to read this one.
I don't know if this is a ridiculous opinion, but I'm a former Sephora beauty advisor, and I believe while brides don't admit it, they usually only avoid paying for professional makeup on their wedding day if they can't afford it. All the wedding makeup I've ever done on Sephora were for broke college grads who were marrying right out of school or high school sweethearts. I was there for 4 years and never did I get a late 20s, early 30s bride, since most are willing to pay for good wedding makeup. It's your most important day, and I can't imagine trying to save money there. But I think I angered my friend who asked me for product recommendations. She is very well off, from a well-off family, but said she wanted to buy wedding makeup and if I could make suggestions. I thought it was just for an engagement shoot or something, but turns out she wants to do her own makeup for the ceremony too. I told her I didn't think it was the place to save money, and she got mad and said she wasn't because she will probably spend more on products, but she wanted to do it herself. Then later she told one of her bridesmaids I told her that she was being cheap by doing her own makeup, which wasn't what I said, but now a few mutual friends think I insulted her. I have no idea why she got so mad from a simple statement.
Well, the funny thing about this is that OP on one hand is claiming that they aren't calling her cheap, right? But on the other hand, she's literally saying this isn't a place that you want to save money at, right? So what do you folks think about this one?
Yeah, I think OP's in the wrong. And it's one of those things where the friend wasn't asking OP for like general advice. She was asking for products specifically. She wasn't asking, should I have my makeup done professionally or should I do it myself? If she had approached OP with the latter question, OP would have been within their right to say, well, I feel like a professional makeup artist would do a better job. But the thing is that for a lot of women, they do their makeup day in and day out. They know how to do their makeup in a way that they like. Like I did my own wedding makeup. I don't even do my makeup every day, as you can say. I'm too lazy. But, I still felt comfortable enough with how I do my makeup. And I think it came out fine. And some people just prefer, they have a certain style they like, they know what they want, and whereas other people want to go fancy, and that's fine too. There's no like right way or wrong way. It's a matter of personal preference.
Yeah, I think that it's really a personal preference here, and I think that she's not being, I think she's being disingenuous when she says that she tried to imply that she wasn't implying that this was for saving money, because it's clearly what she was saying. It's like, oh, you don't want to cut corners here.
Well,
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
And so I just think that she really needs to apologize to her friend and actually own up to her own words here.
Well, the thing that doesn't make sense too about her making it about saving money is that, like the friend was saying, if you're buying all the wedding products and you're buying like expensive brands, you're gonna end up spending a lot of money on that. Full-size bottles of like foundation and everything, like it would be a pretty penny. So it's not like it's even necessarily cheaper to buy all your own wedding makeup if you're not using stuff you already have.
Yeah, but let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, but let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. You're the jerk like it's your full-time job.
Wow, OP, the wheel is really against telling people to get professional makeup artists.
Well, because she works at Sephora, so I think that's what they mean, is that it's her full-time job to be a jerk in this situation.
That kind of makes sense.
It does. The wheel is sentient. It has gained AI. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Giving My Cat Back to the Breeder? Some backstory. We've always wanted a Maine Coon cat, and we got one a few years ago, and it turned out to be a Wish.com Maine Coon. One of our acquaintances run a Maine Coon cattery, and due to a lack of genetic diversity, needed to rehome 2 of their male cats. We were offered one of the males at an extremely reduced rate to ensure that he went somewhere where he would A, be treated like a prince, and B, neutered and just not bred again. Some important context, we have a very skittish, came from a hoarding colony, seized by the council cat. She's a rescue and our little angel who can do no wrong. She's also not fond of other cats, but tolerates cat number 2, who's affectionately known as Witchcraft, but not quite. We thanked them for thinking of us as suitable, and asked if he could come on a few days trial to see how the cat's chemistry would be. 1 February. It turns out that he's a total himbo and a very submissive cat. So while she isn't fond of him, she's also very quickly realizing that he's not going to try and beat her. We accepted and thought that was that. Confirmed that we would like to keep him the 8th or 9th of February and paid a symbolic amount for a microchip transfer on the 10th. Well, yesterday, the 19th, we got a message that they would like him back for a few days because one of their girls wasn't pregnant like they thought that she was. We were super hesitant as they only just started gelling and he's scheduled to be neutered this coming Monday. Then they pushed on that they could come and pick him up in the morning and just drop him off at night and that he would get the job done. We again said that we weren't comfortable with him leaving the house and they asked if they could instead bring the female to our house to breed. Our girls are scheduled to be out of the house for a few hours this weekend, so we agreed, but now they're talking about taking him with them. We were super uncomfortable with the whole situation since it was stipulated by them that we needed to get him neutered ASAP and now they want him back. We're also worried that they would keep him beyond the scheduled time if he doesn't breed her, and then we would miss his neuter. They're being super pushy and now doing some weird things, like, do you know how much these cats sell for, type spiel. Our argument is that he's only just stopped calling for his old household, and that our girls would lose their mind if he came back smelling weird again. He's also just a little baby cat, too, and isn't titled. Am I the jerk? Alright, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, it sounds like Opie has the cat's best interest at heart, whereas the breeders only have money signs in their eyes. They made a choice to sell the cat. They sold the cat. They can't take it back.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward like that. I think that they really are being kind of scummy here. And I think cat breeding, like purebred like this too, is not great anyways. Yeah. So I kind of have a bone to pick on that front as well.
Oh, absolutely. I agree, and the genetic diversity is a big issue with purebreds because animals will have, less genetic diversity, so they get more genetic defects that can have long-term implications for them.
So I think that OP isn't wrong to just not want them to mess around like this. They shouldn't have given the cat away before they were ready if they weren't ready to give the cat away. So that's plain and simple my kind of philosophy. And there's no guarantee that their next trial will work either, right? So it just feels like they're kind of stringing OP along where they put them in this place of limbo where they own the cat, but they don't really own the cat. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Today I Messed Up by Misunderstanding My Gynecologist. And Amber wants to read this one, but it's also a little not safe for work.
Yeah, we'll see if we can make it through without dying from laughter. This actually happened on Thursday, but my soul has only just now come back into my body. I visited the gynecologist on Thursday for my yearly exam. I see a male gynecologist, and while he's a little awkward, he's a very nice, good doctor, and hasn't given me creep vibes. Before he came in, I took off everything except my socks and put on the little gown they gave me. I settled on the bed and then he entered. We make a little small talk just so we're not in silence, go through any concerns, anything you need to bring up since the last visit, etc. And then it's time for the old peek. I put my legs in the stirrups and he begins the exam. He must be feeling awkward from the silence because after a minute he says, "Oh, you must have a cat, huh?" I do have a couple of cats, but I hadn't mentioned that to him. My brain short circuits. How can he tell I have cats just from looking at my vagina? Does it smell like cats down there? So I say, why? Does my vagina smell? He must have interpreted the question as, why does my vagina smell? And he said, I'm not smelling anything right now. Can you describe the smell? My brain goes into overdrive. What the heck does he mean? Can I describe it? He's the one down there. So I clarify. Can I describe the cat vagina smell? He pauses and sits up straight and just says, what? And so I say, do I smell like cats down there? How could you tell I have cats? His face turns bright red and he points to my foot in the stirrup, or more specifically the cat socks I'm wearing, which also happen to have a single white cat hair clinging to the sock. I said, oh, I thought my vagina smelled like cats or something. He shook his head and very quickly finished up. So my vagina doesn't smell like cat, but I don't think I can go back to him.
Yeah. Well, what do you folks think about that one?
I mean, it's a funny story, Hopefully OP can laugh about this in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's just one of those situations where sometimes miscommunications can lead to a little bit of a awkward situation. And I don't think that OP needs to hold this against themselves or anything like that. I'm sure the gynecologist has had some weird conversations before. So, but let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What did the celebratory loaves of bread say?
Oh, I can tell you exactly what the celebratory bread said because I know celebrity bread. Celebrity bread says some really zany things because they're like, hey, look at me, I'm a celebrity. And then they try to like get free stuff all the time from you. They're like, hey, I'm a celebrity, so you should give me that cheese for free. And then you should also give me that salami for free. And then they do that. And then they make themselves into a sandwich. But then you get really hungry looking at the celebrity sandwich. And you're like, should I eat this celebrity sandwich? Or just kind of ask me for stuff. And before you know it, you've made a horrible decision. But not me personally. I've just heard this before. So yeah, that's what celebrity sandwiches say. Celebrity bread.
That's a really morbid take. But this is celebratory, not celebrity. And they say, let us toast to new beginnings.
Oh, yes. I'm sure that's what celebratory bread says.
Today is National Toast Day.
So, folks, go find yourself a nice celebrity piece of bread, toast it, and then eat it on a nice sandwich.
And today is also National Pokemon Day.
And go find yourself a Pokemon, but don't turn it into a sandwich.
Yeah, no eating Pokemon. That's not allowed.
At least not in front of the kids. And I have Mega Mint. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday Junior, folks.
Happy Friday Junior.
Thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much to Amber for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it kind of a hodgepodge.
Don't shame someone for feeding their child. Don't try and take back cats you've sold. And I'm forgetting the other stories, so that's my hodgepodge for you.
And don't tell the gynecologist weird stories, I guess. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.